Vessel like this certainly brings back memories. Well, Mr. Jones got to Station Castle. That's good.
I hate to be the one to let that scout get away. But Gil's not. That's good. It's better to stop once and for all. The station's on high alert ever since those scouts popped in.
Everyone's saying this is it.
Scouts are just the beginning. That's right, Renegade. Looks like I'll be your wingman for the attack on Battery Alpha. I heard you got some moves. I'm looking forward to seeing your bird in action. Not sure. We had most of our birds in for maintenance when they jumped in. Just bad timing, really. Ensign over here managed to track down one scout that wasn't with the main group. Did a fancy yo-yo, though, and gave him the slip. Long story. I got my start in the academy and made a name for myself hunting the Crimson Fleet. I eventually got recruited to do test flights on a star station orbiting Lloyd's Rock. Me and 3 other Archangel pilots did some work on some extremely dangerous prototypes. But I called in a few favors and got back home with SysDef. Someone with my talents needs to be here, where the action is. Yeah, it was. And you can probably guess what project it was for. Yeah, I thought you might. I heard the fleet sent you up there for some more pirate work. Even more impressive, you managed to do it without taking any lives. Maybe I misjudged you. That's more than I can say for myself, given the history of Project Archangel. The official word is I was transferred back to SysDef because the need was great. The reality is I was kicked off the unit. I was so bored on that station, I spent all my time in the barracks drinking cases of smuggled booze. When the time came for my test flight, I was so wasted, one of the others had to cover for me. The engine caught fire right after takeoff. Pilot, crew, gone in a flash. Is that right? I guess that lets me off the hook with the jailers, but not with the judge upstairs. I appreciate what you're trying to do, though. Just give me some time to process it. Mole. I cut my teeth on space trucks, believe it or not. Before I got my stripes, I was just another cargo hauler trying to earn an honest wage. But after a couple slick escapes, I got recruited to the academy and went from dodging pirates to hunting them. Thing is, some of my best tricks were with a big rig. Ever try a pitchback with a Hope Tech truck with 2 fleet wraiths on your tail? Compared to that, doing it with a military fighter is a piece of cake. Stay frosty.
The fleet started this one.
The fleet have got a lot of arm. Now we bring arm to them.
Sir, if I may speak freely.
Welcome to the brig. As a member of SysDef, you may talk with the prisoners as long as you are mindful of operation security. As a personal rule, I simply ask that you adhere to UC Navy standards of cleanliness at all times. That means no mud on your boots, your hands are washed, and you are free of any contagious diseases. Besides the fact that it's healthier, a sanitary brig is important for station security. In my experience, a prisoner will hide a shiv under a flake of dust if you let them. The cleaner a space is, the easier it is to spot irregularities, both inside the cell and out. I trust your Commander Ikande's undercover mole. I understand the lack of hygiene is part of the cover. So, lucky for you, you're an exception to my usual rule. But try not to abuse the privilege. Really? I know you were headed to the key, but I didn't realize you'd actually get a chance to visit the lock. I almost respect the fleet for doing that. They're trying to pass down their history. Or their version of it anyway. I respect the principle of teaching one's history. It makes me think Delgado wants the fleet to be more than just space pirates. When you connect the past with the future, you're trying to create a culture, a through line between you and Jasper Cricks. Ah, my apologies. I didn't mean to be unprofessional. It's just rare to talk to someone who got to witness that history up close. But all that aside, give me your honest opinion. What were the conditions like? I was afraid of that. I think I'm starting to fully realize the hand we played in all this. Truth be told, my ancestor was a guard on Suvorov. Part of the reason I joined SysDef was to find out more about his experience, and whether the history books told the whole story. Which is why I'd like to hear Crix's side of it, if just to confirm what you saw. As a matter of fact, I have a favor to ask. I understand that part of your undercover work involves going to the fleet headquarters, namely, the key. While you're there, if you find anything pertaining to the history of the fleet, I'd be interested in learning about it. I agree. Just keep in mind this is a favor and you're free to ignore it. I only ask because this is such a rare opportunity and I'd hate to pass it up. I appreciate it. I've actually heard rumors about there being audio logs for an interview the founder of the fleet, Jasper Crix, did on the Key. I'm interested in anything he had to say regarding his time in prison and how the prisoners were treated. If you find anything like that, bring it back here, and we'll take a listen. The fleet and the UC are intertwined, and I've always felt knowing that past as an important part of what we do. In life, history can be a guide, a warning, or at times, a reflection. And if you want to know which one it is, you have to stare it in the face, regardless of how ugly it is. The cells you see here are for captured pirates and prisoners of war. If you apprehend any pirates during the course of your missions, they'll be detained here. We have multiple turrets attached to the ceiling. If you've met Ensign Betty, she's personally calibrated them to ensure they cover the entire area. That being said, firing the turret should be considered a last resort. He's a good man, singularly focused when it comes to the fleet. But that's not to say he doesn't care about his crew. I can tell you a story as an example if you'd like to hear it. Usually only when he has business here. But pretty much everyone passes by the brig on their way to other parts of the ship. Given he sees barely a glance of me most days, you'd think he wasn't paying attention. Hence the story, if you've got time. So, I'm a bit of a workaholic, and I forget to take breaks. One day, Commander Ikande passes by the brig and sees me at my desk. He takes one look at my haggard face and says, "Officer, I'm headed to the mess hall. If you're not with me in 15 minutes, your services will no longer be required on my ship." I tried to protest, but he was dead serious. So I went. We had lunch, talked about old times, and I went back to the brig, refreshed and ready to work. It's little things like that. You can see he pays attention, and that he cares about the people, not just the work. Soldier, have you ever heard of Trenchfoot?
Can't say that I have, sir.
Well, they say guards on Suvorov would sometimes trudge through cold, frost-wet trenches on their daily patrols. Prolonged wetness led to circulation and nerve damage, aka Trenchfoot. Unable to perform, those guards were taken off duty, and security suffered, all because they didn't take the time to properly dry their feet. You see where I'm going with this, don't you?
I do, but if I may, I would argue that we're not on some frozen planet, sir.
But you tracked in mud from your last mission. You brought in any number of microbial life forms, known and unknown, into my brig. These are direct threats to the health and safety of this crew, and by extension, the security of this brig. On my brig, cleanliness is a duty, and I suggest you take this duty seriously. And if not, I will have the commander relieve you of it.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Come by. One thing I'll say about Petrosian, he keeps a secure brig.
I guess you think I have some sad story to tell? That I met some sick orphans on New Homestead and grew a conscience? Or maybe you're the cynical type, and you think I turned a new leaf because I wanted SysDef to go easy on me. The truth is a bit more complicated than that. Sure, I got time. You see, at my age, you know who you are. And I've always been a thief. I'd swipe a cred stick for my own mother if it had enough zeros on it. But even in a group of cred-hungry thieves, a man has to have a code. Rules. And they're as paper-thin as Delgado's skin when you joke about his arm. Even Nev is a traitor to her own ambition, and Shinya to himself. But it means nothing if the higher-ups are loyal, if you can't keep the rugs from sampling your wares. That's the part that ticked me off. In the fleet, you gotta worry about the guy sleeping next to you, and if he's gonna take a bigger piece of the pie. You gotta wake up the next morning and wonder why your slice is missing and the crumbs are stuck to his face. And put a bigger target on my back? As far as I'm concerned, the brig is the safest place I can be. The second you drag me into some private room, you're basically telling everyone here that I'm a rat. Yeah, I've had some work done. If you got the Crimson Fleet on your back, you would too. As for the name, that was actually the hard part. You can use 100 different aliases and the system will just add them to the list. Now you can pay a guy to delete the list, but nothing's ever really gone forever. Neva probably paid the same guy to hit rewind, and here we are. Well, for one, they don't have much in the way of loot, but they're still important to somebody. You can't just blow up one without it showing up on SSNN, or UC Captain getting a 10-inch stack of slates on his desk. But more importantly, do-gooders are predictable. The pirate code changes depending on who's reciting it. Honest folks, they have a habit of writing their rules down. Why did I join the Regana? Truth is, I just wanted a good night's sleep.
Salutations. I assume you're here to commemorate my terrible misfortune? Ah, yes, the infamous evidence that you procured. Bravo, detective. Allow me to congratulate you on your sleuthing skills. That recording was quite a find. I must admit that I was short-sighted when it came to Ms. Swift's ingenuity. I shall not make that same mistake twice. Excellent. Excellent. Well, as much as I detest being the bearer of bad news, I have to disclose that you're wasting your time. You see, this imprisonment is merely an insignificant hindrance. I don't foresee being incarcerated in perpetuity. In fact, I would wager that my legal team will have my release expedited within the month. I only had the time to explain the wondrous loopholes of the UC's justice system. Do you honestly think that I'd embark on an endeavor with Miss Swist and Mr. Vera without a legal exit strategy at my disposal? I can assure you, I won't be imprisoned aboard the Vigilance for an inordinately extended period of time. Indeed. Due to your actions, my tenure with Galbank has been terminated, and several million credits in fines are being levied against me. The day is yours, Agent. You should be proud. Well, why shouldn't I? I was bested by your actions, therefore I should suffer the consequences. There's no need for me to dwell on the past. Well, enough idle banter. I've taken up more than my share of your valuable time. Honestly, this interaction has been quite pleasurable. Do feel free to stop by and gloat at any time. Good day.
How are you, Dusty?
Collapse released. Dad, can I have a pet?
A pet? We live on a starship. Pets and starships are expensive.
Oh, come on, please. Please, somebody come to the show. Must have been a good jump. We're still in one piece.
You bitch. This ain't going down.
Alright, Alpha Squad. Follow Renegade's lead. Take out that battery. Grav drive's down. Not like I was gonna leave anyway. Someone get this pirate off me! Grav is out!
All engine is on target. We've blown out
Start the engines! Bogey in sight, let's do this.
Enemy Q took out their jump drive.
Damn! Now tell me the death. You're playing against the best now. Had enough? Time to fly.
Pick up those fleet ships, now!
They got the crop drive.
Their shields are gone. Take them out. Enemy's grab drive out. Their shield system is damaged.
Beta's down. Last battery is still active. All ships jump to battery gamma. Go! One more. Focus, Renegade. You can do this.
They're not jumping out of here.
You're dead.
Target's jump system down.
Yours better be clean next time I go in there.
I'll get to it, Dad. I promise.
This ain't like getting around to it, Tom. You understand?
Oh, fine, okay. I'm going. Enemy's jump drive is offline, taking down their shield.
Go for the battery, Renegade. Let's finish this. We're clear. All batteries disabled. Lights
at your flagship as we speak. I wouldn't expect backup anytime soon. Gives me plenty of time to blow your ships out of the void. All right, fleet! Triple share to whoever takes the traitor down!
All ships, defensive formations.
You're mine!